All right, hello there. Pretty bored this evening, so I just thought I decided to just sort of overview my NCR Ranger costume that I made for Halloween 2022. I guess I'll just start from left to right here. This is just a cheapo bandolier thing from Amazon, but they're real 30-06 shells in there. And that just sort of mimic the elite ride armor, which is what I was sort of going for. But as you'll see, there are details that are missing, which I'm not too concerned about. Again, Amazon cheapo fingerless gloves. Yeah, they're fine. They do what they need to do. Could have weathered them up a bit more, but yeah. And then so to make really an NCR Ranger costume, you need sort of three things, right? You need a helmet, you need a chest piece, and you need the trench coat or overcoat or whatever. That's sort of all that you really need to make it, like, you'll be instantly recognizable. So that gets into, well, where do you get a helmet from? So this right here is the official Bethesda Ranger armor helmet from Bethesda themselves. And if it looks huge, it's because it is. And this helmet was what initially inspired me to make a costume. So when I got it, I was like, this is really cool, and the build quality is fantastic. But the thing is just ginormous. It's just ginormous. So in game, at least what it looks like to me, is that a standard like M1 helmet is used for the Ranger helmet, it looks like, or just a standard SWAT or Army at the time or whatever, yeah, helmet. And this helmet is just, it's too big, it's huge. They scaled the NCR helmet to like the T51B Collector's Edition Power Armor helmet that came with Fallout 76. And the thing is just too big. It's too big. It's cool though. It's got light up eyes and all that stuff, but the thing is it's way too damn big. So if you can't get it correctly from Bethesda, where do you go? Well, you go to Etsy or Amazon or something. That's where the X Cozier, or whatever it's called, I tried to grind it off, X Cozier helmet comes in. This is a much better scale, but this is slightly too small. So you've got big as hell and then slightly too small, but this one is a lot better scale-wise. It does come not painted like this. This is painting that I did, just some acrylic paint, but it comes looking like shit. And I'll maybe throw some pictures up to show that. Yeah, but it had like, it was all black, and it had like weird stitching along the mouth guard here. So I just went through with acrylic paint and dry brushed silver and rust and stuff, and then stenciled on a 33 just because, and then grinded in some kill marks. And then on all the like unique Ranger armor helmets, they have some sort of quote on them, like the Desert Ranger says, "Forgive me, mama." So I just put like "Peace by Force." I don't know. I thought it was cool. Lenses are just crappy film, you know, which is fine. That's another thing. This is like cast like ABS plastic or something. This is like molded resin. So this is like squishy, and like the inside looks kind of weird, and it came with like these glue marks and stuff, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, but just the quality differences. And then yeah, this piece, this antenna thing was pretty fragile, and it snapped off, so it's bent, sorta. I want to try to fix that and put it in like a longer radio antenna with like spirals and stuff, but yeah, I'll get to that later. Yeah, so that's the helmet. It's not ventilated, which kind of sucks. I was walking around Halloween. It got pretty hot and fogged up pretty fast, but it wasn't too horrible. You can sort of deal. Yeah, so that's the helmet. Get these out of the way. And then these are just like, they're from Amazon again. They were like $40 or something. They're just Vietnam era reproduction combat boots, which I think do a good job of, adding to the whole military sort of aesthetic that the NCR have. At least the Elite Riot armor, which is what I'm sort of going for. It's like a blend of just like the base armor and then the DLC armor. But yeah, boots. And then sort of like the really big thing besides the helmet is the chest armor that the characters wear and the model has in game. There's a bunch of ways to do this. I suppose you could have used like actual tread plate or metal and just formed it. I don't know if 3D printing is an option, but the easiest way to do it just seemed to be using foam. So yeah, all this is like, it's quarter inch, a quarter inch foam vest. Then these raised segmented parts are like 1/2 inch foam. The template for this was from ASHEN WARRIOR PROPS. He's a fantastic guy. He's helped me a lot doing this and getting this ready for Halloween. Dude is just an immaculate craftsman when it comes to this kind of stuff. He's got videos and tutorials and free templates and stuff to make this if you want to. So yeah, you cut your parts out and you glue them. Rubber cement, is that what it is? Contact cement, not rubber cement. I don't know if there's a difference, but yeah, and you glue them on. And then, ASHEN WARRIOR Props' sort of secret is hosing this with Plasti Dip, 3 or 4 coats, and then you get this it like seals the foam and gives it a nice matte black finish. Then you can go in with your paint and just dry brush metal, do your weathering first, and then do your dry brushing metal and rust and all that stuff, and then decals and stuff. So yeah, this is my first attempt making something like this, and I'm pretty happy with it. I never really used a Dremel before, so like these gouges are just like way too big here, and there's just too many of them. So when I make a second version, I'm gonna not go as hard as I did, but I think it still looks cool. The bullet holes, I think, look pretty cool. Yeah. And then you got the neck guard there. Then this could be, I guess, like a death claw, like scratch from the claws or whatever. And that's why it's so big and deep. But I would do it again and make it much more subtle. And then all I did was just contact cement some Velcro or nylon straps to make it fit and to have it secured. And then you use the heat gun to go in here and then roll it, and that'll sort of hold the shape a little bit. It's been a few months since Halloween, so it's sort of flattened out, but that's the general idea. So it's like laying out like this, then you use the heat gun and it rolls it. You stick it on your body and leave it on there, and then it sort of conforms to the contours of your body. And then sort of the last big thing. Is the trench coat or overcoat or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is just another Amazon purchase. Pretty good company. They're called like Leathercraft or something. And it's obviously faux leather, but they'll make it, your dimensions if you send them your height and sort of your build. But I got it and then beat the hell out of it. I dragged it with my car, stomped on it, threw dirt all over it, dry brushed it, which ended up like working out the best. To make it sort of look like it's 200 years old. And then, I got the bracers here, which are just more 1/4 inch foam. attached with Velcro. You can sort of see there. I took these off and then put them back on correctly. But yeah, I think it gives a good effect. And then the O2 backpack, whatever it is. I just made it out of I think it's 2.5-inch PVC pipe, and then ran more foam strips across, and then made the cover. And it's kind of cool is that this is hot glue in here, and it kind of looks like the weld beads, sort of, kind of. Yeah. So it's got the A7 on it, and then the 1, and then the bear on the other side, and the thing is heavy though. Like, it's a heavy coat. Yeah, that's the brand Leather Crafter. But yeah, I just went through with an airbrush. Please don't fall. Went through with an airbrush and just hosed it to make it look dirty and worn and old and stuff. So yeah, that's about it for the overview. So now I guess I'll put everything on and you can sort of see how it looks like. So yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like when everything, except for the helmet's on. Yeah, I think it turned out okay. The only major gripes is that the chest piece is just slightly too bulky, so it brings this area out more than it should. But that's just due to the thickness of the material, and then it probably should hit it with the foam gun or the heat gun again to make the foam contour better. Yeah, the bracers, shoulder, back, other shoulder, and yeah, these are just work pants that I had that were thrashed, and I thought they'd look okay with it. And then let's see, yeah, booties, and then another prop. A prop that I sort of splurged on was just a resin laser pistol from Amazon. It looks pretty good. Doesn't really fit the NCR, but I think it was better to walk around with this rather than this on Halloween, you know. So yeah, this is a pretty sick prop, and then be better to walk around with that than a hunting-ish type rifle from the game or whatever. So yeah, these are real bullets. So yeah, I walked around with real bullets on Halloween, but I was carrying the laser pistol replica, so it wasn't, not that huge of a deal, I don't think. Yeah. And then, let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but here's the helmet. Yeah. So yeah. Moving my pose and stuff. Yeah, so it's a pretty good costume, I think, for my first attempt. The range of motion isn't great. You can't shoulder a rifle. Well, I guess you can. Let's see. Yeah, you can shoulder a rifle pretty well. But with the helmet, you can't do that. And then really, you can't really crouch because this doesn't flex as much as it should, but that's all right. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, that's about it. Just an overview. I'll maybe throw in some pictures of me trying to figure shit out as I build this and put this together and paint it and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.